Hello everyone, welcome to a new series. This is Best of 3 Mondays here in Arena Underground, and we are trying this new version where you guys get to see our faces in the intros at least. I think it's a good idea for you to put a face to the voice that you're listening to on the games. I'm your host and founder of the channel. My friends know me by KM7 or my arena username, which is Slayer007. Now you guys can pick and choose. We hope to start uploading videos every week, at least bi-weekly, every Monday of traditional and standard rank. Just to make sure to click that bell icon to get notifications when we do. It might be weekly, hopefully, but depending on the time frame and how much content we can record over the week, that might change. We'll do our best. Now, for this series, we are starting with John's Sacrifice Mythic Championship 7 version. First and foremost, we'd like to congratulate Kanister for the win of the championship with nonetheless an amazing record. So for this first episode, we are playing Mythic John's Sacrifice Kanister's version. So I'll give you a quick deck tech. This deck, it's pretty straightforward. We have played against it in the past few weeks already, but I think this version is pretty great. So we have our Cauldron Familiar, and we follow that with Witch's Oven and Mayhem Devil. Then we try to close out the game with Corvold, Fey, Cursed King, and Casualties of War. Casualties of War, it's kind of the card that made the deck get to this top 8 and this win for Kanister. This card was able to win a lot of the mirror matches and also just get by some of the ramp decks that have all these have Nissa on the battlefield plus extra creatures. It's a very good card. We also have a great sideboard here against control. We have 4 Duresses. We have Lovestruck's Beast, something we can do against the flash decks. Early game, 1/1, and then just extra low mana spells that we can cast. We also have Wicked Wolf. This is against some of the aggro matches as well. And yeah, it's pretty much straightforward what we've seen. So yeah, we have 2 full traditional standard rank games for you. We are playing against, we have a mirror match. That one's pretty cool, especially that first game where it went out a bit long, but we managed to get there. That was a pretty fun game and we were very happy to win. And then we won that match. Our opponent kind of conceded on the second game, but I think they realized we were already pretty far ahead there, so that was that. And then we have another game against Grixis Fires of Invention. That was also a pretty cool game. They tried to use the ley line and the Sorcerer's Spyglass to get to nullify our Witch's Oven and our triggers with the cats, and we managed to win those games even with those spells being played. And then we're gonna throw in an extra game for you. It's not a traditional, it's just the one game. So we managed to win a game this weekend against Izzet Flash, and we just played 2 lands on that game, 2 lands and a cat, and we managed to win that game. So that was pretty cool, and I think I just wanted to share that with you guys. So hopefully you enjoy these games, and if you like the content, make sure to subscribe and support us for free. And I think that's it. Leave us some feedback. Make sure to watch our Meta Tuesdays video. That's a best of 1 ranked game. I think this week we are featuring Mythic Simic Flash in best of 1, so that's going to be pretty cool as well. And then we also have a new episode of Meta Thursdays coming in this Thursday, of course, with the Janitor as he plays another janky deck. I think we might be featuring Shota's Yasuoka's 5-color fires, possibly. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, just keep in tune to see the decks this week. And we are also going to feature some of the Mythic Championship decks next week. So that's all for today, guys, and let's go to the games. Okay, guys, we are playing Mythic John's Sacrifice in traditional standard best of 3. 10 is okay, but it is a little bit slow when we are on the draw. So I think we want to mulligan this. This looks much better. We can play one of these cards, get a green source here with the Fable Passage. Sure, we'll keep that. I'm going to put one of the trails to the bottom. Alright, let's see what our opponent is playing. Alright, opponent also mulligan. They seem to be playing some sort of Rule Adventure or Rule version of the deck. We are going to start by playing our Witch's Oven. Alright, opponent is also playing Witch's Oven, so this seems to be the mirror match. Sure. We are going to get our Trail of Crumbs online. Let's see if our opponent is also in the same plan. They can play a Mayhem Devil here. That is actually quite fine. I want to apologize from the start. This is going to be a long game. So our opponent's going to destroy our oven most likely here with the Trashing Brontodon. But we get to keep our Trail of Crumbs, right? So start with a Fable Passage. Play a Familiar. Good thing is we'll get to do some triggering here with our Trail of Crumbs. Not right away, but sure. Alright, let's pass a turn. Not much we can do at the moment. Just wanted to say that this is kind of my first time playing this deck. I did try it a couple of times in non-ranked matches before we played traditional, but I'm still not completely familiar with the deck. Our opponent is in better shape than us at the moment. They don't have a cat. That seems fine. They still haven't decided on what to trade with their Trashing Brontodon. So we need... I think we need another green source. We do have the black and red here, and we can get something with our extra Fable Passage. Alright. Okay, we're gonna get another swamp now. And we get to start pinging stuff. Alright, so we are going to sack the Familiar now, even if our opponent decides to trade their Trashing Brontodon. We don't want any food creation items on the battlefield from our opponent's side. Our opponent should now sacrifice. Sure. We get to ping them. Ping them again. Okay, and I believe we take the other Witch's Oven. Let's just make sure that our opponent, does not end up sacrificing the Trashing Brontodon against our Witch's Oven. So let's see. All right, that is a Trail of Crumbs. That's sort of fine. They don't have any great options per se. They could destroy our Trail of Crumbs, but that leaves them vulnerable to our Mayhem Devil and our Cauldron Familiar. And we get a Corvold. So far I've learned that playing Corvold is really what we want to be doing. So we are going to do that. So we're just going to pass the turn here. No need for us to incur in any shenanigans now that we have Corvold on the battlefield. Our opponent can start drawing an extra card per turn. That said, we will do our best to destroy this Trashing Brontodon if they give us a chance. And they have, by using their last source of mana there. So you don't have an option now, but they can sacrifice us to the Witch's Oven, which is fine with us. Forget the name of the 6-mana removal spell, but I think all of you guys know what I'm talking about, and that's the Casualties of War. Sure. That it's fine. We do have ways to get back in this game. Okay. So first, play a Witch's Oven. Play a cat. Beatstuck Giant to get some lands out of our deck. It's got another red source. We get to attack. Pass the turn. So our opponent will be able to draw some cards out of these food tokens. That is a Corvold, but they're not going to be able to play it this turn, so we have options. Okay, they get to draw a couple of cards, so their engine is online. Alright, that's an overgrown tomb. We get to attack with everything here. Opponent will get their own cat to go along with their Corvold. Alright, so it all comes down to what's gonna happen next. Ideally, we would like to draw a Casualties of War. You are gonna ping your Corvold opponent. Let's see, our opponent would have been down to 6 if we pinged them there. How many triggers is this gonna get? I don't think their Corvold's gonna die here, so maybe we just start pinging them. I think that's a much better idea. We should have actually done that. That is another oven, sure. Alright, we get to do our thing with the cats. Also good to see is that, well, Corvold could potentially grow here. So if we attack the cat, they have to sacrifice it. Let's see if this works out for us. They have to use their Witch's Oven. We get a trigger. But if they play the cat, now we get more triggers. I think this sort of works, because they also have to just sacrifice it, and they won't get to do that again next turn. That's sort of fine. And the opponent is down to 4. And we get a source of... That is pretty good, actually. Our opponent has to block the Beanstalk Giant with their Corvold. Sure. So we get to cancel that. We actually let that go. We want our familiar dead. So they'll be at 4. So they play that, they'll be at 1, but we get another trigger, so we should be good to win here. And that's game. Good game, opponent. Let's go to the next one. So now, I think Duress is kind of nice, although we are on the draw. Trashing Bronton should come in. Maybe another Massacre Girl. Not quite sure. Dress is not exactly... I mean, it would be nice if we get to Dress first thing. Alright, we're just gonna go with that. Maybe take out a Bronzodon. Murderous Rider seems fine against the likes of Corvold. Yeah, let's just do this. Let's see if we get a good hand. I think the mirror is just basically who gets to play casualties first and who gets the Corvold first on the battlefield. This is interesting, but we don't have a lot going on here other than playing our ovens and maybe Massacre Girl on turn 4. That doesn't really help if our opponent has a cat and an oven in hand, plus the Trail of Crumbs. Alright, this will keep. We can send a Mayhem to the bottom. It's not great, but we do get to a turn 1 Goose. And our opponent takes the casualties, but we get another one, so sure. Pass the turn. Alright, I guess we're having some luck here today. We are going to play our Mayhem here. I think we need to have something in place that will carry us on forward. This is nice. Okay, we'll pass the turn. We'll keep our Murderous Rider online here. And our opponent concedes. Good game, opponent. Okay, we are playing John's Sacrifice in best of 3 standard. This hand has the potential to be great, but we don't have lands, so we're going to mulligan that. This is definitely a keep. We send our Trail of Crumbs to the bottom of the library. Okay, our opponent's playing Demir something. We are going to start off with a Witch's Oven now that we played the Gruul land. So we could see a Dot Erasure here to take our Cauldron Familiar. That might be okay because this Trail of Crumbs we have in hand. And this is Grixis Fires apparently. Yep. Alright, so our opponent has the option to take the Trail of Crumbs or the cat. I think they should take the cat. But okay, Trail of Crumbs is pretty good as well. So Fires does get to go on top of us, so we have to try and win this as quickly as possible. Not sure if we will be able to do that, but we'll sure try. So they do not have to Teferi. It's one good thing about the Grixis versions of Fires, but let's see. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that opponent. So again, the one thing you want to make sure sure, we still get the trigger opponent, so but that's fine. They get to keep a little bit of their life total there. they might have another Bedevil in hand. That might be good for them. That is a way for them to deal with the cat for sure. So we are looking for a Mayhem Devil or something similar. Trail of Crumbs is not bad. We'll get to start chipping away at our opponent's life total while using our Trail of Crumbs. Okay, that is a Fail Wishes, and they might be looking for this. Yep. Okay. So that is a way for them to start winning some games. Okay, Casualties of War, it's not the worst. So we have to do these triggers before anything. I guess Casualties of War could help us do something here. So we are going to trigger here. So Leyline, card would be put in an opponent's graveyard from anywhere. It's exiled, right? So once the card's put into the graveyard, instead it's exiled. So we are going to fire off this Trails of Crumbs. This is something we can do next turn, so maybe that's a thing. Yeah, that's fine. Get the cat back in play, drain for 1 life, and we can attack next turn. We can still sacrifice the cat to... Ooh, Horrible looks pretty good. The only problem is that, again, whatever we do, we can sacrifice a Trail of Crumbs. That's not so bad. And then our opponent needs to answer Corvold, right? So we could have another Bedevil. Something along those lines. But I think I'd rather have the land for the Casualties of War. Alright, we are going to get another black source here. So let's see what they want to do. They definitely have options now. They did use the Fail Wishes to get the Leyline, so that's kind of okay. And they are at 9. Don't believe they have great ways to gain life other than... Right, so they are going to get rid of the Cauldron Familiar. So we are going to exile the cat this time. Don't really have a choice, but at least we get to get a food from it. And then we can casualties. Yep, that's fine. Alright, we'll grab the Murderer's Rider. Okay. So, this time we get to do a few things here. Land, enchantment, creature, and that's it. You don't really want to do any artifacts. Target enchantment. Target land. Let's see if opponent has most of the black sources. But I think I'd rather take away the Vantress option here. And we get rid of the ley line, so if we get another cat, we should be good to go again. That's a drawn from Dreams. That's pretty good there from our opponent. See what they decide on taking here. I'm guessing they're looking for a Fires of Invention. Still have some Barontodons that we could use to get rid of that Fires. We can play Corvold. I think we don't have any crazy choice here, so we have to get rid of a food. Yep. That is a sad thing to see. Okay, we do get a cat and a Mayhem Devil. We're not going to complain there. So our opponent kind of needs another late line to win this game. Alright, so let's see what they do off the Fires here. That is Chandra. Okay. So if they want to get rid of Corvold, they have to bring Chandra to 1. So that would be good for us because we can use Mayhem Devil to get rid of Chandra, potentially winning the game. We should have sacrificed that, but that's okay. We have options here. Alright, we'll take the Massacre Girl. I don't think we're gonna need it, but that's fine. We get to pay for something else. We take another Mayhem Devil just to assure our winnings next turn. Alright, opponent's down to 4. Gonna put a stop at the end of the turn. That is a drawn from Dreams. Sure. Go for it, opponent. Yeah, killing that ley line with our Casualties of War was pretty good there. So I'm guessing our opponent's gonna bring some counters in here. So let's see, we're gonna fizzle that. It's not going to play well for our opponent. They were trying to see if we made a mistake there. Alright, and against this deck, we definitely want our Duresses here. And it seems like Arena might be having some sort of problem. Can't really see what's happening. That is sad. Alright, we now see the Duresses here. That's good. We're going to leave the Casualties on. We're going to bring another Bronzodon, since we've seen the enchantments. And maybe Murderer's Rider. Take out 2 of the Massacre Girls. Take out a Trail of Crumbs, even though it was pretty good there, but not what we need. We can take out 1 Casualties. And this is an interesting choice here. Alright, maybe another. Alright, we'll bring in just 2 Trashing Bronzodons. I think that's fine. Alright, this hand looks good. We do need to draw into our enchantment killing spells, but our opponent just mulled to 6, so we'll keep this hand. Opponent just mulled to 5. Alright, they do go first, sure. Right, that is a duress, which we will play right away. Take that off your hand, opponent. So this is a game that we are pretty much favored here. That said, it's not won yet, so let's play it. Alright, here comes a red source for our Mayhem Devil. Pass the turn. You could see a Fires of Invention this turn. We do get to ping our opponent for sacking that Fable Passage. So there's 3 cards we don't know our opponent has. Okay, here they go looking for their ley line. Well, opponent, just make sure you have something against Corvold, because Corvold is going to come down and start drawing us cards. So potentially we draw... Okay, I see. So they instead opted for the Sorcerer's Spyglass. Okay, that is another goose. We will get... Let's see, we have 2 black sources here. I think we'll get another one. We have 3. We'll get a forest. I think that's fine. Play a goose here. So we can attack with our Mayhem Devil. We could have played Corvold there, but seeing that our opponent's going to play Sorcerer's Spyglass next turn, you don't have to though. Let's see. Alright, that is the Sorcerer's Spyglass, so we are kind of free to play Corvold now. They're going to see our hand, so if they do have a Thought Erasure, then that's going to be trouble for us, but we're still in the game. Okay, they named the Witch's Oven. They see the Corvold. Do you have the Thought Erasure, opponent? Okay, they play the Feo Wishes. It's okay. It's a way for them to mitigate. We are going to make a food. That is an untapped source of mana. So we get to Corvold. Sacrifice a food. Ping the Feo Wishes. We could have attacked first just to see if our opponent made the decision to block. It doesn't seem like a good block for them now. They could potentially get back Feo Wishes if they don't die next turn and find something to deal with our board. Okay. So now they have to... Ritual Sud doesn't really help them, although, I mean, it gets rid of all of this stuff, but aside from that, it leaves our Corvold on the battlefield. The Devil, it's... Okay, that's an answer. They're now looking for something against Corvold, or maybe... Thankfully, they haven't been able to play their Fires of Invention. They also mull to 5 this game, so we won't complain. We are playing best of 3 and we are looking to win. That is a Noxious Grasp that will deal with our Corvold. Sure. Do they have the land? They don't have the land. Right, that is a familiar that we won't. So we'll play the familiar first. We can sack it to Corvold, so that's, you know, 1 extra life total there. Sacrifice the food. Nah, we can sacrifice something by attacking with Corvold. Sacrifice the cat. Can replay it. Get rid of this fate. Well, that's not really gonna help us here. So we'll just go forward with our plan here. We'll pass the turn. We'll let our opponent play their Noxious Grasp. We might be able to get 2 triggers out of both Mayhem Devil and Corvold, so... Alright, so they're opting to first Cry of the Carnarium. We will create a food token. We can sack a food token to draw a card. Maybe our opponent should have Noxious Grasp first, but our Corvold trigger is already in play. We do get alive here, so nothing we can do there. Alright. But that's it. Okay, we do get a Mayhem Devil, and we landed another Corvold, so we're not going to complain about that. And our opponent concedes. Good game, opponent. Okay, guys. We are playing traditional standard rank with John's Sacrifice. We go first, and we have a great hand. Alright, opponent, what do you got? Because we are stacked. Santa Claus. Sure, Santa Claus. Here we go. Cat is ready to get in the oven. And we seem to be playing against Simic again. Well, this is not getting countered. Another cat comes into play. An opt. Alright, this is not normal Simic Flash stuff, so this could be Izzet Flash. Let's see if we are correct. If we see a red source here, that is a red source, so we are playing against a against Izzet Flash. Don't believe we mind them trying to kill our cat here. They are gonna fire off a Bone Crusher or something, sure. Okay, that is gonna exile one of our cats. That is fine. Seems like that's the reason they're playing this Scorching Dragonfire. Alright, we would like to draw a land to play our Mayhem Devil at some point. Okay, that is a Bone Crusher Giant. We are going to chip on our opponent's life total little by little here. So it would be awesome to draw a land. That is another casualty. So that is exactly what we needed, right guys? Amazing. Alright. We'll pass the turn. So the good thing here is our opponent can't really answer our sacrifice triggers. Because they need to wait for this to enter the battlefield. And once it does, we get to activate our Witch's Oven yet again. Alright. So now we go to our turn. You don't want to play the cat now, because if you play the cat now, it'll get Scorching Dragonfire potentially again. Our opponent has... Okay, still waiting for that amazing land here. But we are going to take advantage of this trigger. So one good thing is Izzet Flash does not have any ways to gain life, at least main deck. They are going to start chipping away at our life total with the Brazen Borrower, but we've gained some life here that might be enough. Sure. Alright, that is a Gatwick. Well, the good thing is we are free to start sacrificing our cat here while gaining life. So one thing to remember, guys, is with this deck, you really want to play fast because you lose a lot of time, and if the games go long, then you don't get to do your thing. Alright, Natalan. So we can't do much here. They're gonna start possibly making our cat, tapping our cat. Still have a chance, so we get to resolve something here. So we are hoping to see... Wow. Alright. So we might be winning this game the old-fashioned way, right guys? Passing the turn. Still no third land. Thank you, MTG Arena. But we are optimistic. Our opponent is possibly hoping that we make a mistake here. So we have to try and play fast and not make these mistakes. If they have another Brazen Borrower, that could be game. No land, but at least we get a blocker. Alright, that is an Ionize. That's pretty good. Let's see what our opponent is up to here. All right, so gonna take 7. I'm gonna take 10 next turn potentially, so we are somewhat dead here, but all right, we don't really have a choice, so we're gonna do this now. If our opponent taps our cat now, then they do. Gonna put a stop on our opponent's end step. We are at 24 time. Opponent's at 26. Not too bad. All right, our opponent is attacking. That's a free block here for us. All right, that is another cat, so we're not gonna complain about that. They have to counter this cat in order to survive. Alright, that is an Ionize. Sure. So I believe this means we lose this game. We leave our... Let's see. All right, so our opponent needs a Bone Crusher or something in order to survive, and they do not have it. Good game, opponent. Let's go to the next one. All right, that was tough. Winning with 2 lands, guys. That was pretty amazing. That was all for today. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and click the bell icon if you want to get notified whenever we upload new videos. Have a good one.